I'm Megan from the Knitters Party podcast, and today I'll be reviewing Knit Picks Gloss Yarn. This is a 70% merino and 30% silk blend from knitpicks.com that comes in lace, fingering, and DK weight options. The normal price is $6.99 for a 50-gram portion, ball or hank, depending what weight you buy. And this is from knitpicks.com. Now, before I start this review, I want to let you know I am not at all affiliated with knitpicks.com. I just use a lot of their yarns to knit with, and I like to share my opinions. So today I'm going to give you my overall score for this yarn, talking about the pros and, of course, the cons. So, getting right into it, I give this yarn a 4 out of 5. I overall really enjoy working with it, and I'm going to talk about the pros of the yarn first. Now, before I go into it, I want to show you my most recent finished object using the Gloss DK weight, and this is in the colorway Jade. This is the Green Willow Cowl by Elizabeth Doherty, and it's overall a really beautiful pattern. Going right into my pros, you can see here that the yarn is really soft, it's drapey, and it's a little bit shiny. The gloss having 30% silk content, it really does show off your stitch definition quite well. So it's shiny, it definitely has a good stitch definition, as you can see here, and it's really a wonderful yarn to work with. Continuing with the pros, this yarn is quite soft, not only up against the skin, but also when you're working with it, it's very soft on the hands. I also want to say that this yarn is really true to gauge. I have used the lace weight yarn to make a full sweater, and I've used the DK weight yarn to make this cowl, and both of them really are true to gauge. This is a genuine DK weight yarn. It's not too thin, it's not too thick, and so I really find that the consistency is quite nice. Talking about consistency, I want to talk about the color consistency. Now, I used 3 different balls and I did not alternate my skeins, but you cannot tell where I have switched my colors. So the color fastness and the color consistency is really great. Also, when I washed this out, I had almost no bleeding of the color at all. So the color fastness, or how well the color stays in the yarn, is really nice as well. Talking about my last pro, I want to let you know that the price is really quite affordable. This is $7 US or $6.99 US for a 50-gram portion of this yarn. That means it's $14 per 100 grams, and you're getting merino wool and 30% silk content. I think that the price is actually quite nice. So overall, those have been my pros. It has great stitch definition, it's very soft and easy to work with. The colors are beautiful and they stay fast and they're true to color between balls and they're very consistent. The price is quite nice and it's really true to gauge, a true DK weight yarn. So let's talk about the cons, shall we? I only have a few to list here, but they were important enough that they lowered my overall score from a 5 to a 4. Talking about the first con, as with many knitpicks.com options, the range of colors is quite limited. In terms of the DK weight here, I think there are only 10 to 15 colors to choose from. Most of them are muted colors, natural colors, but they definitely don't have any pops of really bright, beautiful colors. You will never find a purple, you won't really find a yellow or any sort of bright pop of color. I'm going on to my next con, something that is really important for me. This yarn will felt on itself. It is not 70% superwash merino, it's just merino, and so when I was knitting this, for example, I had 3 balls of yarn, so 6 ends to weave in. The ends that I had used in the very beginning of the shawl, by the end, were quite matted, and they were really felted on themselves. So be careful when you wash this yarn. Do not use hot water, do not agitate your project in any way, otherwise you will be left with a felted piece or a felted garment, which, unless that's what you're going for, you probably don't want. And as for my last con, although this yarn is quite soft, it can be a bit toothy, or rustic. I think that's what knitters are supposed to say, right? It can be a bit toothy. Because the yarn is not superwash, it hasn't been treated to make all of the fibers sort of go in the same direction. And so, although it is still quite soft, if you have sensitive skin, very sensitive skin, I maybe wouldn't use this for something that's going to be around your face or neck. It can be just a bit grabby, a bit toothy. Some things that I've done in the past to fix some of these issues are that I will wash my wool with a little bit of fabric softener. And sometimes I notice that that can make a difference in terms of how soft it is against my skin. So to wrap up my cons, first and foremost, the colors are, there's not a wide range of colors. It can be quite a limited range of colors. Second con, it will felt on itself, so just be very careful when you're washing your knit. And the last con is that it can be a bit toothy, so if you've got sensitive skin, maybe think twice or think about using a higher quality yarn for your project. So overall, I like this yarn a lot. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I will continue to go back to Knit Picks gloss yarn. I've used it for several different projects. I will continue to use it again, and as much as there are a few cons, overall the pros really outweigh it, and this is a beautiful, nice yarn to work with. So that's been my Knit Picks gloss yarn review. If you're interested in more Knit Picks yarn reviews, click in the link below, in the doobly-doo whatever box below, the information below. I've made several videos for Knit Picks yarn reviews. So if you're interested, definitely leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about the Knit Picks line of yarns. And please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're interested for more knitting or yarn review content. Have a great day and happy knitting.